The Carolina Panthers are walking through the doors of a nightmare scenario right this second, and nobody outside of the locker room wants to admit just how fragile things have become. For months, the fan base has pinned every single ounce of hope on a single promise, a transformation so complete, so explosive, that it could wipe away years of heartbreak in a single afternoon. But football has a brutal way of crushing dreams before they even start. Right now, this entire franchise is standing on a razor's edge, balancing between a miraculous offensive renaissance and a complete, unmitigated disaster that could torch the entire season before September even arrives. Before we dive in, smash that subscribe button if you want the fastest NFL updates on the planet. Let's talk about the elephant in the room that has everyone sweating through their clothes at training camp. The backfield situation was supposed to be a slow burn, a carefully managed transition where a prized rookie slowly integrated alongside a veteran anchor. That plan just went up in smoke. With the preseason opener looming large at Highmark Stadium against the Buffalo Bills, the medical staff and the coaching room have been plunged into chaos. Just like that, the entire weight of a franchise's running game crashes squarely onto shoulders that haven't faced live, full-speed NFL contact in nearly 2 full years. Who is to blame if this high-stakes gamble backfires and the legs give out under the pressure? Drop a name below. But wait until you hear what is happening along the offensive trenches, because that is where the real panic is setting in behind closed doors. You can have the most dynamic running back talent on planet Earth, but it doesn't mean a damn thing if the 5 guys blocking for him are walking wounded. Right now, the offensive line looks less like an impenetrable wall and more like a triage unit. Left guard Damian Lewis has been fighting through a persistent calf issue that has kept him entirely out of team drills, reduced to individual side work while the clock ticks frantically toward week 1. Across the line, the situation is even more alarming. Losing a high-motor rookie edge rusher like Nick Scourton to a torn ACL on the very first day of training camp was a gut punch that echoed through the entire facility. It forced the front office into emergency mode, scouring the waiver wire and bringing in castaways just to find bodies capable of rushing the passer. But the injury bug didn't stop there. Patrick Jones, a player brought in to step up into a major role in the wake of that disaster, has been battling a severe illness that completely drained his practice momentum. Head coach Dave Canales addressed the situation with stark realism, noting how a simple illness creates a dangerous snowball effect across the roster. When a player's immune system is compromised, every soft tissue in their body becomes a ticking time bomb. One day of dehydration, one minor fever, and suddenly hamstrings tear, calves pop, and depth charts are thrown completely into a blender. It's a vicious cycle of attrition that is testing the absolute limits of this roster's resilience. Yet, buried underneath this avalanche of medical reports is a fascinating internal battle that the coaching staff is desperately trying to navigate. When the initial depth charts dropped, players like Patrick Jones were penciled in as starters. But if you listen closely to the players on the field, the narrative is shifting dramatically. Younger, hungrier pieces, players entering year 2 with a point to prove, are making massive waves. Teammates are openly calling them the most dangerous pass rushers on the roster, praising their twitchy speed and relentless motor. So why is there such a massive disconnect between what the players see on the practice field and what the official depth chart says? The tension in the defensive meeting rooms must be palpable. When you have elite defensive leaders publicly championing the young bloods, but the coaching staff is seemingly slow playing the transition, it creates an intense psychological battle within the locker room. Every single rep in practice becomes a job interview. Every single pass rush drill carries the weight of a regular season snap. If the veterans can't stay healthy, and the young guys aren't trusted to lead the charge from day 1, this defense could easily fracture under the weight of high expectations. And then, just when you think the emotional roller coaster has reached its peak, you have to look at the wide receiver room. Imagine holding your breath as one of your most promising young pass catchers crashes violently to the turf, landing square on his back, neck, and head during a routine training camp drill. The collective silence that fell over the practice field in that exact moment was deafening. Everyone thought the worst. Everyone assumed another major weapon had just been wiped off the board before the season even started. To see that same player bounce back, lace up his cleats, and start burning cornerbacks on crisp comeback routes along the sideline is nothing short of miraculous. But let's not sugarcoat the reality of the situation. This is a completely make-or-break campaign. We are talking about a physical talent who has completely transformed his body over the summer, swapping out the nagging hamstring injuries that plagued him all the way back to his college days at South Carolina for a brand new, bulletproof frame. The excuses are completely gone. The team didn't draft him high just to watch him struggle to cross 500 receiving yards or vanish in the red zone. They need a true vertical separator, a physical mismatch who can stretch the field, pull safeties away from the line of scrimmage, and open up the entire underneath game for the rest of the offense. When you lose other key rookie pieces to devastating season-ending knee injuries, the pressure on the remaining playmakers multiplies tenfold. If he doesn't step up right now and translate that jaw-dropping practice touchdown into elite regular season production, his time in this franchise will evaporate in the blink of an eye. Every single storyline heading into this weekend's preseason action is connected by a single, fragile thread. This is a team trying to rebuild its identity out of raw clay and medical tape. The coaches are preaching patience, preaching focus, and talking about celebrations of gratitude for players finally getting a chance to play the game they love. But behind those public statements is the grim awareness that the margin for error is absolute zero. The stadium lights are about to turn on.
The fans are waiting to see if the hype is real, or if this is just another false dawn in a long history of heartbreak. When Jonathan Brooks takes that first handoff against the Bills, and when the battered offensive line tries to hold back a ferocious pass rush, we are going to find out what this team is truly made of. Will the injuries tear this roster apart? Or will the sheer willpower of a rejuvenated core forge a brand new identity? The answers are coming faster than anyone is ready for, and every single snap from here on out carries the weight of a franchise's future. Keep your eyes locked on the field, because the chaos has only just begun.